Hi everybody. In this short video, I will explain you how to use the limit alarm function block, which is part of the util library, your utility library, standard library in the CODESYS. So basically, it's as you can see here, it's in the form of a block. So you can use it in different programming languages, in CFC, FPD, instruction logic, and so on and so forth. And its main functionality is to check the value of its input, the input variable, and compare it with two limits, with a higher limit and with a lower limit. So if the input value is between these two limits, the IL output will become true and the others are false. If the input value is higher than the high limit, it's over the high limit, the O output will become true and the others will become false. And in case the input value is lower than the low limit, in that case the U output will become true and the others will become false. So it could be used to indicate whether a variable like the temperature, pressure, any kind of variable is within some limits, or if it's out of the desired limit. It could be useful in this sense. Now here I will show you how to use this in CFC programming environment within CODESYS. So I already have created a project. I have declared the variables that I would need here. So I have the temperature, which is an integer variable. I have lower limit, which is by default 15, and I have the higher limit, which is by default 40. So you can change them later on as well. And I have three Boolean variables like alarm when we are over the limit, alarm when we are under the limit, and alarm when we are within the limit. In the visualization, we have three pilot lamps, the blue one, green one, and red one, and each one corresponds to one of the cases. When temperature is within the limits, the green one will be turned on and the others are turned off. When it's below or under the lower limit, the two cold pilot lamp will be turned on, and when it's above the higher limit, the two hot pilot lamp will be turned on. And I also have a slider here to simulate the temperature, and I have a text box here to show the actual value of the temperature. I will explain you later how to set the variables for each one of these elements. So the first step here is to add the library to our project, because the function block doesn't come with the initial installation of the CODESYS, and you need to add the corresponding library. Double clicking on the library manager, you will see this window here, and then you can click on add library. When you do so, you will see this window, add library. If you go to application, common, and you will see util here. So it's a utility library. Clicking on OK, you will see it here. And the function that we are talking about is indeed here in analog monitors and limit alarm. By clicking on that, you can maybe have a look at the documentation here as well in terms of the inputs and outputs of the block. So this is how the function block looks like graphically. There's no documentation, but yeah, here we have the input value, we have the upper threshold value, lower threshold value, and we have these three outputs as I already explained to you. Okay, so let's go back to our programming environment. We are using the CFC as the programming language, so I will insert a box, and then for the box I will so it's here, yeah, in the util, analog monitors, and limit alarm. This is the function block that I'm looking for. Double clicking on it, I need to declare a variable, a new variable of this type, by clicking on, by pressing the enter key of the keyboard. We are able to auto declare the the new variable. So I just keep the name as limit_alarm underline 0 and the type is limit_alarm. And clicking on OK, we will have our function block here. Now we need to provide the inputs and then we can grab the outputs. To provide the inputs, I will bring 3 input elements and connect them to the inputs of the function block, like just by dragging and drawing the mouse. And the inputs are associated with in is the temperature. This is the higher limit, so it's here higher limit, and here we have the lower limit. For the outputs, we need to bring some output elements, dragging and dropping them here and then connecting them to the output of the function block. We need to determine to associate these outputs with the outputs of the limit alarm and the variables that we have already declared here. So this is O corresponds to alarm O, U corresponds to alarm U, and IL corresponds to alarm IL within the limits. Alright, so we are done with coding. Now we just need to go to the simulation, to the visualization part and make sure that everything is in place. So let's start with the slider that I have inserted into the visualization. If you have a look here, for the slider, we have the variable set as PLC underline PRG dot TMP or temperature, which is here. Okay, I already had done it. So now if we change the slider, the value of the temperature will be changed, and it's in its simulation of the temperature. Yeah, we could receive this value from a sensor. You can also change the value for the scale, starting value, the end value, which is set to 0 and 100. I already have done this. So, but you can change them. It's up to you. Then in terms of the text marks here that we have, so what I have here is first I have changed the text to this value, current temperature, and then %I degrees, which means that I need to have a variable, integer variable here, and that integer variable is determined in the text variables, as you can see here. So temperature, yeah. Now, whenever we change the slider, the actual integer value of the temperature will be displayed here. Then for the pilot lamps, I have determined the variable as the alarm U, alarm IL, and alarm O, as I already explained. So I think we are done with the visualization and with the program. Now we can log in and run the project, and then we will see the performance in real time. Okay, so here you can see the values, the actual values. Now I will start to change the slider. By default, we have 25 here, 25 degrees. Now, if we increase the temperature to 35, still we have the mild temperature. And if we pass 40, you can see that the output for too hot will be turned on and the others are turned off. Going back to below 40, we have the value within the ranges. And if I go under 15, you can see that the too cold pilot lamp is turned on. Yeah, and as I told you, you can change the different values here for the lower limit, higher limit, and everything is up to you. Okay, so this is how you can use the limit alarm function block in your project. I hope you have enjoyed it. Don't hesitate to share the video if you think that it could be useful for someone else as well. So thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye for now.